Hello and welcome to Film Crave. I'm Rothisha, and in this video I will be giving my review of the highly anticipated film El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. And before I begin, I just want to give you the heads up, this review will have spoilers. So if you have not yet watched El Camino or the Breaking Bad series, I suggest you watch the movie first and then come back and check out this review. El Camino is currently showing on Netflix and in select theaters. Since the announcement of El Camino, Breaking Bad fans have been counting down the days of its release. As a diehard Breaking Bad fan myself, I have been super excited to see this movie. I am one of the people who believe that Breaking Bad is the best TV series ever created. So you can just imagine, I have been waiting, I have been ready for this movie. So why have fans been so excited about El Camino? One of the reasons is because this movie finally answers the question, what happened to Jesse Pinkman? This is a burning question fans have had since the Breaking Bad series finale. The title El Camino, translated in English, means the path or the journey. So writer and director Vince Gilligan wrote this film for the purpose of showing us Jesse's journey after the death of his former high school teacher and partner in crime, Walter White. El Camino picks up from the last scene of the Breaking Bad finale. Keeping up with the movie title, we watch Jesse speeding off in a Chevy El Camino after Walter helps him by taking out his captors, giving Jesse the opportunity to escape. Not only does this film show the path that Jesse took after his escape, but we also get a glimpse of certain events that occurred while he was being held captive. Escaping his violent captors was only half the battle. Because of the countless crimes he committed as a crystal meth dealer and manufacturer in New Mexico, Jesse is also on the run from law enforcement. Because he is still in Albuquerque, where police are actively searching for him, and with his face plastered all over the news, Jesse needs to be very careful to avoid being captured by the police. The first people that Jesse decides to make contact with are his friends Skinny Pete and Badger. We were introduced to Skinny Pete and Badger in the Breaking Bad series, and these dudes are the definition of ride or die. If I was a criminal, I would definitely want this duo in my corner to help me. When Jesse arrives at the door, looking like he'd been through hell and back, they invite him in, they feed him, provide him with toiletries to clean up, they give him advice on how to elude the cops, and even go so far of swapping out cars to help Jesse in his quest to flee Albuquerque. Prior to the El Camino movie being released, there was a teaser posted on social media that showed a scene of Skinny Pete being interrogated by the police.
I don't know what to tell you. I ain't said like 500 times already. I have no idea where he is. Don't know where he's headed either. North, south, west, east, Mexico, the moon. I don't have a clue. But yo, even if I did, who wouldn't tell you? Because I've been watching the news, same as everybody else. I seen that little cage of his they kept him in. I heard about what all they did to him to make sure he kept cooking. So sorry. I don't know what to tell you. No way I'm helping you people put Jesse Pinkman back inside a cage.
I quickly realized after watching the movie that the interrogation scene was not included. I guess the writers didn't feel it was necessary to include this teaser, but figured it would be pretty apparent to movie watchers that this interrogation happened. Because as we see in El Camino, Skinny Pete is waiting for the police to track Jesse's car back to his house. As we see in the teaser, Skinny Pete is loyal to Jesse and refuses to rat him out during the interrogation. After swapping cars with his friends, Jesse knows he will need money to flee Albuquerque. He returns to the home of Todd, one of his captors whom Jesse ultimately kills during his escape in the Breaking Bad finale. Jesse knows about hidden money that Todd has stashed away and decides to go get the money from Todd's apartment. In El Camino, we watch several flashbacks to Jesse's time spent with Todd when he was being held captive. Todd is the nephew of one of Jesse's other captors and had previously worked for Jesse and Walter in their meth operation. In the Breaking Bad series, Todd is an unpredictable loose cannon who kills innocent people, including Jesse's girlfriend, Andrea. If you can remember, in one of the flashback scenes in El Camino, he even threatened to go back to harm Andrea's son, Brock, if Jesse tried to escape from him. This is the same day Todd takes Jesse along with him to his apartment to help him dispose of the body of his housekeeper, Sonia. Todd had killed Sonia simply because she found money he had hidden and stashed away. Visibly disturbed by Todd's lack of logic and remorse for killing his housekeeper, Jesse remembers just how much of a sociopath this dude is. In one scene, Todd is literally singing his heart out without a care in the world while his deceased housekeeper's body is stashed in the back of his car. We see during the flashback scene that at some point, Jesse got a hold of Todd's gun and had an opportunity to kill him. I'm not quite sure why Jesse didn't shoot Todd when he had the chance. Maybe it was because he thought the other captors would go back and kill Brock for revenge, and he just didn't want to take any chance of that happening. I'm not really sure, but I am interested to know your thoughts on this. As we know, Jesse does eventually kill Todd by strangling him to death in the Breaking Bad finale. Now that Todd is dead, Jesse returns to Todd's apartment to take the money he had stashed away. Retrieving this money from Todd's apartment does not come without conflict for Jesse. As soon as he locates the hidden money, two former associates of Todd arrive to the apartment, posing as cops, in hopes of also locating the hidden money. Initially believing that he has been caught, Jesse soon realizes that the pair are not real cops. One of the fake cops, Neil, knows Jesse and reminds him of their previous interaction. In a flashback scene, we see Neil was hired as a welder by Jesse's captors. He witnessed Jesse being tortured, and his job was to make sure Jesse would not be able to break free from chains. After their confrontation in Todd's apartment, Jesse and Neil agreed to split the money 3 ways. Once Jesse has the money, he goes searching for Ed, a guy who is known to help criminals flee and disappear. In the Breaking Bad series, Ed helped Walter White disappear when he was on the run and would have also helped Jesse if Jesse had not backed out. In El Camino, Jesse arrives to Ed's vacuum cleaner retail store, which is being used as a front for his illegal business. Ed reminds Jesse that if he wants to use his services, he needs to pay the balance from the first time he backed out, in addition to the price to help him a second time. Jesse tries to call his bluff, but let me tell you, Ed is serious about his money and refuses to help Jesse unless he pays in full. Short $1,800, Jesse tells Ed that he will return when he has the full amount. As we see in El Camino, Jesse tries unsuccessfully to steal the money he needs from his parents' home. He then returns to Neil, the fake cop who he had initially split the money with. Jesse is hoping Neil would do him a favor and just give him the $1,800 that he needs. However, for some odd reason, Neil wanted to have a winner-takes-all Western-style gun battle with Jesse. Jesse ends up on the winner's side and now has more than enough money to flee. He returns to Ed and is ultimately able to start a new life in Alaska with a brand new identity. So what do I think of El Camino? As a Breaking Bad fan, I did enjoy this movie. However, I have to say it was not what I was expecting it to be. Only because, as someone who has watched the Breaking Bad series many times, I had formed my own speculations about the direction the movie would take. When I saw the trailer, I was like, whoa, Jesse is going to flee to Mexico and he's going to end up crossing paths with some of his former drug associates, and he's going to be forced to cook, and it's going to start all over again. So I had in my mind an idea of what the movie would be about. Because if you can remember in the trailer, there was someone who asked Jesse, "You ready?" So I'm thinking they're asking, "Are you ready to cook?" But I was very wrong. El Camino is a story about Jesse's path to freedom. When you think about it, it makes sense for the movie to be exactly what it was. What more could have happened? Jesse's main goal is to get out of Dodge. He needs to avoid being caught by the cops, and he needs to disappear to avoid going to prison for the rest of his life. So I appreciate this movie because we finally know what happened to Jesse Pinkman. I also appreciated the cameos that made it into the film, including the infamous Walter White himself. I also never would have thought Jesse would have chosen Alaska to start a new life, but as we saw in a flashback scene, it was actually the character Mike who had suggested he flee to Alaska. So it was very nice to see many of the Breaking Bad characters that appeared in El Camino. I don't think we are going to see the Jesse character again in any type of spin-offs or anything else connected to Breaking Bad. I could be wrong, but I think this is the last time we will see Jesse. I hope that you enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the movie, and if, like me, you had formed your own speculations of what the movie would be about. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button to be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.